beauties, and welcome back to my channel, and Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas! This is the 24th of December, which means that this is Christmas in Sweden, and I thought I'd make a little video just talking a bit about how we celebrate Christmas and what is the differences, because I've celebrated Christmas in US once, and I wanted to talk about a bit about the differences between Christmas in US versus what Christmas in Sweden is. And if you are from another country, I would love for you to tell me about your Christmas traditions down in the comments. I love reading about like how different cultures celebrate like big events, or maybe you're living in a country that doesn't celebrate Christmas. Let me know, is there something else that you do this time of year that is special for your country, because there's a lot of people out there that don't celebrate Christmas, which is perfectly fine as well. But I live in a country that celebrates Christmas, and today, 24th of December, is Christmas in Sweden. We do not celebrate Christmas on the 25th, we celebrate Christmas on the 24th. I don't really know why that is. I bet there is a good explanation for that, but in Sweden we celebrate on the 24th. And I celebrated Christmas in US once. I was at a cruise ship in the Caribbean for one Christmas, and I don't really remember what I did on the 25th even. What did I do? I don't know, but I remember, let's start with food, because that is the one thing that I got to see from an American point of view, how the Christmas food is in US compared to how the Christmas food is here in Sweden. And let me tell you, American Christmas food sucks. No, don't hate me, don't click out yet. But this comes from my point of view, and I am from Sweden obviously, and I love our Christmas food so much. And the US Christmas food is basically turkey. It's been like roasted in the oven, whole, full, with stuffing. There is some kind of cranberry sauce jelly thingy, and there's like some gravy and some mashed potatoes, and that is basically what we in Sweden call Sunday dinner. You could get that on a Sunday in Sweden. If somebody served that on Christmas in Sweden, people would be like, where's the rest? While I talk about this, I'm gonna put some pictures over myself so that you can see how Swedish Christmas food looks. Swedish Christmas food is called julbord, which is basically a more Christmassy version of smörgåsbord. Smörgåsbord, what I know that people call it in English. And smörgåsbord means sandwich table, and julbord means Christmas table. Basically, it's called that because you need a full table, and sometimes two, to fit all of the food. Swedish Christmas food is a buffet, and you go around the buffet with your plate and you pick whatever food you want. Basically, the buffet is divided into three sections: a section with cold food, a section with warm food, and a section of desserts. It's not uncommon for a Swedish julbord to have at least 20 different courses, and that's why I think that US food sucks, because it's only one course. There's nothing to pick from. You only get a plate of that, and it's just like, yeah, it's turkey with mashed potatoes. That's nice, but it's not festive enough. A Swedish julbord would have at least a couple of different sorts of pickled herring. It will have some cold meats, cold fishes, smoked, and like just lots of different things, salads, cheeses, and then some warm things, usually ribs and meatballs and sausages, usually more than one kind, different kinds of cabbages and potatoes in the oven, a bunch of stuff. And then the desserts, usually in my family we only have candy for desserts, different kinds of homemade candy. Homemade candy is a big thing for Swedish Christmas. A big thing. In my family we have a tradition with Swedish candy where we make Christmas candy every year, and my mom makes a couple of like traditional sorts, usually about like 6 or 7 sorts, and then every year we try to make something new, to try something new. I know that we had some last year. We had the best Christmas candy we've had ever, and I don't think we will see it again this year because I was the only one who loved it, but I loved it so much. It was like saffron truffles. Saffron is so big in Sweden around Christmas. It's in candy, it's in buns, it's in food, it's in everything. People love saffron. People go crazy for saffron. Also, gingerbreads is really big around Christmas here in Sweden, and I know it's in different countries as well. Baking and making candies for Christmas is so big. But we had saffron truffles last year and I loved it. I think I was the only one who ate from it, but it was so good. So it's gonna be exciting to see what new kind of candy my mom picked for this year. I know that another big Christmas dessert in Sweden here is they eat a lot of nuts and dates and figs, and also Swedish cheesecake. Swedish cheesecake is not like the American cheesecake, it's a totally different thing. It's more like if you made cheesecake out of cottage cheese, and it has this almondy flavor. It's so good, it's delicious, and it's very common to eat that around Christmas. Also, we eat, I don't know what it's called, risala malta. That's what it's called in Sweden. It's basically white porridge together with lots of sugar to make it more into a sweet dessert, and they serve it with cinnamon and oranges or like a fruity sauce. That's also very common around Christmas in Sweden. And then we drink julmust. Julmust looks like Coke, but it doesn't taste like Coke. It has more of a, I would say like it's a mixture between, it's a very sweet candy-like beer, but without alcohol. Some people hate must, some people love it. I love it. I think it's amazing. My fiance hates it. And we drink this around Christmas, and we drink this around Easter, and in the Christmas it's called julmust, and in the Easter it's called påskmust, Easter must. And we also drink glögg, which is basically spiced wine. I love the non-alcoholic glögg, which is basically spiced red lemonade. I love that. I think it's amazing. But the glögg is really big in Sweden around Christmas. I don't like eggnog. I know that eggnog is very big in US and in other countries as well. And instead of drinking a lot of eggnog, we drink a lot of glögg. That's basically our holiday beverage of choice. And since like I said, we celebrate Christmas on the 24th, and I know in other countries you get your gifts in the morning. Like in the morning you get to see what Santa has brought for you during the night, and that is not how we give out gifts here in Sweden. A lot of people would give out gifts during the 24th, but more like in the afternoon, evening. It's very common for people to have Santa to visit. As long as you have younger kids that actually believe in Santa, you will have someone either dressing up as Santa, or you will hire someone to dress up as Santa and come knock on your door with a big sack of gifts and be like, ho ho ho, is there any nice kids here? Have you been nice this year? And he will hand out the gifts, and obviously everyone that's adult knows that it's someone who's been dressing up as Santa. Maybe it's a grandfather that just said that he was going to go to the bathroom and he just changed and turned into Santa. Normally the younger kids won't notice. It's a big thing to have someone dress up as Santa. So as Santa actually comes to us and hands out the gifts. At least when you have younger kids. Normally when the kids are not, when you don't have any younger kids, normally you just hand out the gifts between yourselves, but when you have younger kids, it's very common to have someone dress up as Santa and give out the gifts. In my family, we normally gave out presents in the evening time when we were younger, and now we give it out after lunch because we have some really young kids in my family, because my brothers have young kids like 1 year to like 6 years. They're in that span, and we hand out gifts a bit more early. And in Sweden we have a very big tradition, and I want to know if any other country has a tradition like this, because like I said, we don't hand out gifts in the morning. Sometimes some families have a tradition where they give out one gift in the morning, like you get a pre-gift. I know we did that in my family. Gifts are, I don't know how it is now, but when I was younger, gift giving in Sweden wasn't that extravagant, and I know in some countries people give out gifts for hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of dollars. That's not how it was in my family. You get gifts, I get gifts for maybe $50-$60, and I was fine with that. I mean, it's not about the gift giving. That's not what Christmas is about, and at least in my family we've always stayed true to that, so we don't give a lot of expensive gifts. We try to find something that actually fits the person. And I don't want to talk about what gifts I've been giving. You know what? I could talk about what gifts I got now, because it's the 24th, and when this is going live, the people have already gotten their gifts. We got some things for my mom and his husband when we were in Japan. So just like a gift package of things that's really, really nice. I don't want to say what I got for my fiance because he's outside and maybe he will be hearing it, but I got some really beautiful sweaters for my kids, for my brother's kids, really beautiful. I got a part for a train set for my other brother's son because he was wishing for things for his train set. So not that expensive gifts. We tried to give something special, but not like, people don't get that expensive gifts in Sweden. That was not what I want to talk about. I want to talk about special traditions. And maybe your family has a special tradition or your country has a special tradition. In Sweden, this is so funny, in Sweden everybody watches Donald Duck's and Mickey Mouse Christmas special. It is at 3 p.m. every Christmas Eve in Sweden, and everyone watches it. It is the most watched TV show in Sweden during the whole of the year. Everyone watches it. And this tradition started in 1959 in Sweden, and I know that because my mom is born in 1959 and my mom is born on Christmas Day, so she always makes the joke that she only missed the first episode because the first episode was aired the day before she was born. Get the joke? So it started in 1959 and it's been airing every year on the first TV channel, like it's called Ettan, number 1 in Sweden, and it's 3 p.m. and everybody sits down to watch it. I think it's not even an hour. It's a bunch of short movies with Disney and like Mickey Mouse saying happy holidays. This is so weird now that I'm saying it, but it's really cozy. Everybody sits down and eats some homemade candy, watches Donald Duck. Kids love it, all love it. It's like at my stage right now, it's so nostalgic to see it. I think it's so nice. And every year Disney has a special when it's like 2 or 3 or 4 minutes, a sneak peek of the new Disney news for the year. So example, when Cars was first announced, they had a couple of minutes of Cars, and when Pixar comes out with a new movie, they have a couple of minutes of that movie, just like a sneak peek from the movie. And then there's some sneak peeks from different Disney movies like The Jungle Book and Robin Hood and what other, like Snow White and Cinderella. There's just a couple of minutes from that movie, and those couple of minutes are so intimately tied with Christmas in Sweden. It's absolutely ridiculous. I know every word of everything in those segments that is being aired at 3 p.m. on Christmas in Sweden. And let me know, do your country have anything like that? That's like, when you look at it from afar, you're like, that is a really weird Christmas tradition. But when you're in Sweden, it's so typical Christmas in Sweden that you can't think of anything else. And Donald Duck in Sweden is called Kalle Anka, and everybody's like, oh, are you watching Kalle Anka 3? And it's like, yeah, of course I am. Everybody is. And I think that's so funny. And in our family, we have a Christmas tradition that every Christmas Eve night, like maybe 8 or 9, we sit down, the whole of the family, and we play Trivial Pursuit. That's how we say it, Trivial Pursuit. In Sweden, we just say TP. And we play the family game of the year, like who's the smartest in the family this year. Normally it's my mom. I know I won 1 year. So that is the Christmas tradition in my family. And when you're seeing this is going live around lunch. So when you're seeing this, actually me and my fiancé is probably in the car heading between his mom and my mom. That's probably what we're doing, because we are trying to celebrate a bit of Christmas here and a bit of Christmas here, because it's very, like in most countries, it's very common for people to go home to their families around Christmas. But yeah, that was everything about Swedish Christmas traditions. I would love to hear about your Swedish Christmas traditions. And if you are wondering also about the giveaway, because I did have a Christmas giveaway and it ended midnight the 23rd, go back to the giveaway video. I have announced the winner in that video in the description box and in the comments. So check that if you are interested in the giveaway winner. And I think that was everything. That was everything for today. Tomorrow there's gonna be a new video here on my channel. I don't remember exactly what it is. But it's gonna be something fun, I'm sure of it. And I will see you tomorrow in my new video. Have a great Christmas whenever you're celebrating Christmas. And if you're not celebrating Christmas, have a great time anyways. Bye!